Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Wednesday, the 7th day of May, 7th day of June, 2023. It is Wednesday of the 9th week of the year, the 9th week in Ordinary Time. Still at Siena College. It is day 3 of the final chapter of Holy Name Province. Some decisions being made, again, hopefully for the good. And so we will see what new future this will begin to bring about for all of us as we move forward into a new province as Franciscans, and then as we move forward into this new province in our understanding of ministry and of ministry sites. Coming to you now from what is known as the Quad here at Siena College. This building right behind me over here, Standish Library. I was a chaplain, by the way, here of the college for 3 years, back in the late 90s into the year 2000s. And so Standish Library is right there. The Quad is here. They're doing some work over there. Behind me on this side, dining hall is right over there. And then over here is Saracen Student Union, which is the place where the friars, the chapter office and the chapter meeting room is being held. So beautiful little campus here in upstate New York. So today's readings, as we continue with the book of Tobit, more intrigue, disaster, demons, all kinds of things like that are afflicting the various characters involved in the book of Tobit. Again, remember, Tobit has the unfortunate the thing happened to him, the birds poop in his eyes, and he's got cataracts and he's blind. So things are not going well for him. Across town, in another part of that area that is ruled by the Assyrian Empire, a woman named Raguel is trying to marry off her daughter Sarah. But Sarah has been afflicted by the demon Asmodeus, who for no apparent reason except his own perverse joy, keeps killing all of the husbands that Raguel marries Sarah off to. And again, she's not able to consummate the marriage, and thereby she's not been married, and so she's bringing disgrace upon herself and upon Judaism and everything else like that. And so, while Tobit wails of his own problems, Sarah wails at her own problems, and life is terrible and awful, and they cry out to God for help, and God responds. And God responds with the angel Raphael. The only time actually we ever hear about the angel Raphael, so there's Michael, there's Gabriel, there's Raphael, and then there's Ariel, who is not a mermaid, who's first and foremost an angel, although Ariel really doesn't ever appear specifically, but we try to make allusions to it. So there are 4 archangels, and sometimes there are 7 archangels. There's so many angels. But Raphael makes his appearance, her appearance. I think it's given a male pronoun in Tobit, and it's going to begin to help them, begin to help heal what has fallen apart. Again, the exiled northern kingdom of Israel in Assyria, crying out to God for help, and God being the one who delivers that help to them. And we begin to see this with the appearance of Raphael. In the gospel for today, in Mark's gospel still, another marriage situation. This one, again, Pharisees and scribes, they don't agree with anything Jesus says. They do not believe that Jesus is the Messiah. They do not believe that he is bringing anything that is going to be helpful to Judaism. So they don't begin arguments. They don't begin any kind of debate with him, but they try to present situations that, as it says, are going to trip him up. And so the one is about marriage and what do you do when your husband dies? And so again, so how does one take care of a wife who's become a widow? And again, a part of Judaic law was that the brother marries the wife if the brother is unmarried, so as to save her from disgrace and to take care of her and things like that. Well, the question then is raised: what happens if there are a dozen brothers, and each of those brothers marries the woman in turn after the elder brother dies? And it's like, who will she be married to? And again, it's a ridiculously stupid question. But again, the Pharisees and scribes don't know what to say, in response to Jesus's preaching, and so they come up with these ridiculous scenarios, which Jesus recognizes, at point blank range, and basically he will not be pulled into them because it's just absurd to try to argue such ridiculous suppositions, such ridiculous scenarios. And so basically, it is not about marriage or anything else like that. It is about, recognizing that the fact that there is a God. And the passage begins with stating that the Sadducees do not believe in the resurrection from the dead. And so this is why they're trying to trip Jesus up with some kind of ridiculous scenario. But Jesus comes back basically to say, it's not important about marriage, it's not important about these little things that we have set up ourselves here on this earth, but that God is the God of the living and the dead. And because of that, all people are brought to good. All people are brought to that place where they should be, where they need to be, because ours is a God who is God over all, not just a God of the day. He is God of the night. He is God of the dead. He is God of the living. All these kinds of things are a part of this God who cares about us and who wants what is best for us. Again, the scribes and Pharisees don't want to think of a God like that. They want to think of a God of rules and regulations, and if you don't follow them, you get into trouble. But that is not the God who Jesus proclaims. It's not the God who Jesus reveals to us. Something always important for us to remember as people who continue in the glory of Easter and the witness that Easter gives to us of life that is good, of life that does not end, of life that begins its power here in this life that we live. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord continue to give you his peace. And continue to pray for the chapter.